Stonk Insights. This is not financial advice. In today's video, we're going to talk about VVS, or very simple finance, and their latest and greatest that they released through an IGO or initial gem offering, CronosID. So we're going to get into that, but before we do, there's already a naming service on the Cronos ecosystem. As we transition here to Twitter, we can see that they have a CNS or Cronos name service right now that's available. So, these things are different. They're not the same thing. One is provided by VVS, and this is its own entity here. But I just want to look at the pricing here, just so you can have an idea of, what the pricing is on this side of the CNS. So I'm just looking up Stonk Insights here. You see that it's available. Per year, it'll cost me $15 if I want to keep the Stonk Insights .CRO with the CNS. But here we can see that CronosID, get your own .CRO domain, and they just released, well, they've been here since July 2022, but they just released just recently their IGO in December through VVS, where you could commit your VVS tokens, take a part of this before anyone else did. What we're going to go ahead and do is just look to see if there's any differences between CronosID and CNS, see what the similarities are, and see if this is something that you're interested in or not. Okay, so first off, what is CronosID? So CronosID is a decentralized identity and communication layer built on Cronos. On a broad level, CronosID will allow users to send and receive information on chain, powered by human readable identifiers. So no longer do you have to look at the machine readable identifiers to try to figure out, where you're sending crypto to. Now you can actually look at the human readable, which is a name. So if you're sending it to Sally, you will send it to Sally.CRO. You know exactly who is going to. Just to take a look at the tokenomics here, you can see that there's 1 billion total tokens that's going to be released. You can kind of see the scheduling here, or how those tokens are allocated. Now they will have staking in pools, which we'll look at on the VVS Finance website. But just to break it down a little bit, 40% of the protocol's revenue, so what's going to be made by the protocol, is going to be going to reward pool stakers. 40% is going to be allocated to the ecosystem treasury, and 20% is going to be used to buy back and burn CRO ID. Okay, so this is the CronosID website here, and I would just encourage you to go directly through the VVS website to get here, so you don't have to try to figure it out. I am very sure there's a bunch of honeypots out there that's just going to be trying to take your CRO. So make sure that you are verifying that you are on the correct CronosID.xyz website. And we're not going to be minting today, but we're just going to take a look at this, and then we're going to come back and then look at some more stuff. But I just want to take a look to see what this does when I search for Stonk Insights. All right, so we can see that Stonk Insights is available. It's 192.91 CRO, which is equivalent of $9.90 USD right now. So it is a bit lower in price in comparison to the CNS naming service. All right, and just taking a broader look at the website here. So all you need is your CronosID, one domain for everything, the right address always. So again, now it's going to be human readable names, not the machine readable versions of it. And then you can just use just one link for your emails, social media, pages, and websites. It is identified to you, so you don't have to go looking for everything. You can just look up Sally.CRO and figure out their website, their social media pages, and all their identifiers. All right, so just to take a look at some of the simple facts here, how many steps does it registering a domain take? So it's only 2 steps. You got to submit your domain registration request. Just note that it's a 60-second wait to prevent other users from front running you, and then you confirm your registration and you're the owner of that domain. So it's very simple. Is there a character limit? So they don't necessarily state that there's a character limit, but they said they can only accept A through Z in numericals, 0 through 9 in dash symbols. And I also believe they can accept emojis, which you're going to look at as well. And how much does registering a domain cost? So it tells you here, you register domains with 5+ characters, it's $9, but 4 or 3 characters, the pricing is a little bit different. 3 characters on the CNS side right now is $420 per year. So it is very expensive to mint a 3 character .CRO naming service. So that's something to take into consideration. If you have a very short character identifier for yourself, just take into consideration it's going to be more than the $9.90. All right, and then these are just a little bit more deeper facts that you can get into. So you can use emojis as this shows here, but I guess it's a specific type of emoji that you can use. You can transfer your domains, but once you do so, it's irreversible, so you can't get it back. You can add multiple wallets to a domain, which is very useful. If you have different businesses, so let's say that you have different NFT projects, they can all be linked to the same wallet address, so you don't have to have different wallet addresses for different mints. So I think that is very cool. Okay, so how is CronosID different and unique from the rest? So CronosID and other naming services on Cronos are different projects that use different sets of smart contracts. So that's something that you do got to keep in mind. This next point, expands upon it. So if I've already minted, let's say a johndoe.cro on another naming service like CNS, which we just seen, can I still mint the same domain on CronosID? And if yes, what is the difference between the two? So you are able to, because again, they explained it, these are two separate contracts. So you are able to mint the same name on this naming service as you would on the CNS side. And then finally here we are in the glitter mine. So this is through VVS Finance. This is where you can stake VVS or XVVS and get a yield on that. So for the earn CRO ID, you can stake XVVS and you can start earning CRO ID. As you see here, this is changing wildly. This was at 71% before I started this video. We can see here the APR is at 63%. And just note, the more income, the more inflows it comes that, they're trying to stake to receive the CRO ID, that is going to drop, so, just keep an eye on that. If you're trying to peg how much you're going to get in APR, that will change with the more people that are staking the XVVS to earn CRO ID. And that's the video for you guys. So what do you guys think? Have you already minted your own personal identifier with CronosID? Have you done so with CNS and decided that you're not going to do so with CronosID? If that's the case, then more power to you. I do like this CronosID. I believe they're going to do more innovation than on the CNS side. One thing I'll quickly mention before I end this video here, the more things that they're going to do on top. So, not only is it going to be a naming service, it's going to be a notification service, it's going to be a messaging service, which I think is so cool. So you'll be able to message other CronosID holders that have CronosID and do, just basic messages with them. That they're verified because they have one of these, and I think this is where all these naming services should be going to anyways, but I do like the fact that CronosID is actually putting that in their roadmap. But whatever your thoughts, leave them in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.